Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first edition of Red 2 Chatter, the podcast where we talk about everything Star Wars, movies, games, toys, whatever you can think of. I'm Dallin. I'm here with my two brothers, Jay and Ryan.
Hey, guys.
Yeah. And basically, we just got back from Orlando, Florida, and we had a lot of fun times, a lot of bad times, and it was. I thoroughly enjoyed myself, except for a few parts, but I liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, the celebration was awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to the next one, wherever that might be in 2019. Like you said, there were some highlights, a lot of highlights. The lines, we'll just get it out there in the open. The lines were the issue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The lines were pretty bad. Well, they weren't, like, terrible. They're not the worst lines that I've seen at all, but...
I do want to give a shout-out, though, to those people who camp out, because those guys are crazy, right?
That's commitment there, guys.
Oh, yeah,
Those
definitely.
guys are committed fans. I consider myself a pretty committed fan. I like the comfort of my own bed at the townhouse we rented, so... some trade-offs. I made some trade-offs. That's all right.
We don't live in Orlando, but yeah, we traveled down there, and we had to get a townhome to spend the night in, and it was actually really nice because we were really close to the convention center.
Yeah, just a couple blocks away, really, and it took us less than 5 minutes to drive there.
Yeah, if we really wanted to, we could have just walked there, but. That's a bit of a far walk.
Even though there was a lot of lines, one of the fun things about that was just the people watching, checking out all the different types of T-shirts and the costumes, the cosplay.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff was a lot of fun.
Right, and one of my favorite things to do is just to start chatting with some people that are in line. I mean, you're in line with these same people for 3 hours sometimes or more. You might as well strike up some conversation every once in a while.
Yeah.
Met some pretty cool people from all over the country. And you're all there for the same thing, so you already have like that common ground, it's something to talk about, so it's really cool.
Yeah. I like the panels too, like the panels with Warwick Davis and all of that. Like the 40th celebration panel, the first panel that they had was really good, especially their tribute to Carrie Fisher was amazing, and I think it made all three of us tear up a little bit.
Oh yeah,
especially when Billy Lord came out and was talking about her mom. I mean, yeah, the waterworks were turned on then.
Yeah, I was sitting next to you, wasn't I? Wasn't I sitting? I was sitting next to Ryan. That's right.
Yep, you're sitting next to me.
Yeah, and both of us were just like, whoo.
Yeah, we were towards the back of the line. We got into one of the satellite rooms, so we weren't in the room where the live show is taking place. We're in one of the satellite rooms watching on the live feed. So we did get split up, couldn't sit together. Mm-hmm. But, it was all cool. I mean, I got to sit with my mom and sister. They joined us on the trip, so it was a great panel. I mean, I really enjoyed myself. It was a great way to kick off Celebration, I think. Got to see Harrison Ford and...
For the first time.
George Lucas was there. That's awesome.
Yeah, we got to see Harrison Ford come for the first time.
To any convention, yeah.
First convention that he's ever been to. And didn't he say something like, I get it now, or I get it why people love Star Wars now?
Yeah, I think he was a little awestruck by just...
How many people
and how loud it got when he came out on stage. I mean, even our room, where you don't even get to see him live, we're seeing him on a screen. The place just erupted.
Yeah, everybody started yelling and screaming in the satellite room, and he can't even hear us.
Yeah.
We're just screaming at a TV screen.
You probably could hear us, just the echoes through the hall, coming from our room to that room. You could probably hear us. It was crazy, though. It was absolutely insane. And the community that was just there was really good. Everyone knew what everyone was talking about. That's one thing that kind of sucks at Comic-Con, you go there and you're, part of a really big fandom, but, you might be talking to someone who doesn't know about the fandom that you're in, and you bring it up, and they're like, what? And you're like, oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, you start getting too in depth in it, and they're like, what is he talking about? I don't get it.
Yeah, exactly.
At least here, it's like everybody is there for the same thing. They're all Star Wars fans. They're all about Star Wars. The whole convention, Star Wars.
Right. Yeah, it's great to see from, kids as young as, infants to... we saw that one guy in the Obi-Wan looked just like
Alec
Guinness. He's probably
Doppelganger.
I mean, it's awesome just to see that dichotomy of from young to old. It just attracts so many people. So that's one of the personal reasons I love Star Wars so much. Just brings people together, and of course, it's a great film franchise. So
yeah.
Now, what in your opinion was your favorite cosplays that you liked? Like, really good cosplays.
I ran into a girl over at the is it the Mandalorian Mercs booth on the sales floor, and ran into a girl in a Zam Wessel costume. First one I've ever seen. I've never seen anybody cosplay Zam Wessel. It was amazing. She was talking to another girl about all the work she put into it. Just unbelievable amount of work.
Yeah. I'm probably more of a traditionalist. I like to see the stormtroopers, and I like to see the guys in the Darth Vader costumes and the Emperor's Royal Guard outfits and the biker scouts, that kind of stuff. People dressed up like Luke and Leia. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I like it when people bring their own... I'm a bit different than Ryan. I like it when people bring their own little flair to it. I like original characters people come dressed up as. I'm gonna do that eventually with mine, and it's cool to see the different creative stuff that people do. I like the guys that were dressed up as the Bith Cantina band. That even though he had a saxophone with him, that's not one of the instruments that they play. I still thought it was a really funny and cool costume, and yeah, there was a lot of really good costumes there.
So you like the My Little Pony?
I like that
cosplay.
That was good. I like that, and I like the
merging of the two. My Little Pony and Star Wars.
That
one was pretty interesting.
That one was pretty good. I like the it was like a R2-D2 mech.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I got a good picture of that.
Yeah, we got pictures. We'll post some pictures on this podcast so you can take a look at it.
Our Facebook is down below if you guys want to go check that out.
Yeah, it's just that red
chatter. Jay mostly posts stuff on there, and he posted a whole bunch when we were there. And yeah, it was he really got into it. He really got into posting stuff.
Yeah, well, I watch a lot of other people's shows on YouTube and stuff, namely like Jedi Council, Dash Star, Stupendous Wave. They all do a lot of Star Wars content. And, man, they just kind of inspired me, and I think all three of us, just to kind of do this.
Mm-hmm.
We love Star Wars, so we just want to share our love for that. And this is a great way to do it, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see here. What about your, favorite booths? Did you have, a favorite booth? Or moment in a booth that you really liked?
I'm guessing Jay's is when he got his autograph.
Oh yeah, from the voice of
Ahsoka.
Yep, Ahsoka's voice actor Ashley Eckstein. She is amazing.
That would be the Hallmark booth. That's where she was at.
I love that. Love getting a chance to meet her. It was the highlight of the show for me, definitely.
Yeah, you got your book signed.
Actually, I just got a little doll, and she signed a card for me. They wouldn't let us have them sign other outside stuff. So, but I did get that, and I'm gonna put that in a nice shadow box frame and put it on my wall.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Are you gonna put your doll somewhere?
Inside the shadow box.
Yeah. By the way, Jay has this big shrine in his house just dedicated to Star Wars and
mainly Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. Mainly.
I love bounty hunters. That's why I was attracted to the Zam Wessel costume. She's a great bounty hunter from the original from the prequels. So.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one of my favorite bounty hunters. I think she gets not mentioned very often, but I like Aura Singh a lot.
Oh yeah,
she's cool.
Yeah, she's a great character in Clone Wars.
Yeah. And our sister's favorite Bounty Hunter Zam Wessel, of course.
Oh yeah. Okay, so Dylan, what was your favorite booth since you
My-
asked us?
My favorite booth was the show store that I never got to go in. The show store was like crazy apparently, but no, I liked the Japanese inspired ones were.
Yeah,
really
I'm probably
cool.
gonna butcher their name, but like Kotobukiya.
Yeah,
Is that
maybe.
the one you're talking about?
Maybe. I can't remember their names. I didn't really look at their names, but they had. I was a little bit mad. I was a little bit mad because they had this picture of a Gamorrean guard in like this samurai getup, and I'm like, dude, I want that. And I'm like, do you guys have that? And they're like, oh no, that's just a drawing. I'm like,
Well, it was some concept art, so hopefully they will come out with it.
Hopefully they come
Maybe
out
I'll be able
with
to get
it
it eventually.
hopefully.
How about you, Ryan? What was your
Oh,
favorite booth?
Being a huge toy collector, I like the independent booths where they have some of the old school, Star Wars toys still in the packages. They're graded, so I like the independent, like just the guys with their booths that have stuff that they've collected over the years and now they're selling.
Yeah, it was cool to meet the toy hunter from the TV show.
Oh yeah,
that was
TV
pretty
show
cool.
toy hunter guy was there. Yeah,
Yeah.
Good to see him.
Yeah. You talked to him.
Yeah, he had some great vintage, graded action figures. Man,
yeah,
it was cool.
I was looking through them, and of course, I didn't pull the trigger like always. I can never pull the trigger and
Yeah,
buy
this guy's a
something for
little tight
myself.
with his money. So.
A little bit tight.
Hey, what's funny is I'll buy stuff for other people.
Right,
Though.
he spends it on us, but not on himself.
Hey,
I'm all right with
you
that.
guys should appreciate that, right?
Absolutely. I didn't say I was complaining.
I mean, yeah, true. Oh man, there was a lot of good panels though. Like I really liked it was the collectors panel,
Oh yeah.
the toy collectors panel, where they talked about like how to get exclusives and all of that. Now, one thing you need to know is that I'm not a big toy collector, at least when it comes to Star Wars. But these two definitely are.
Oh yeah.
So I was just kind of there for the ride, and I was like, oh, that's actually kind of interesting. I got really interested in it. And did you guys learn some stuff?
Oh, yeah. Mostly that you just need to be dedicated to the hunt, and that's really what it's all about. Like, don't get discouraged when you can't find things you're looking for. Just keep looking for them. And you don't necessarily have to keep, pay through the nose for the things you want either, unless it comes to a point where, like, you just can't find that figure. Then you might hit up eBay for that figure you're looking for.
Yeah.
Now, there is something that was announced, and it has to do with Star Wars Rebels. Well, that's actually two things that were announced. One was that the 4th season of Star Wars Rebels was going to be the last season.
Yep.
So what do you guys think of that? What do you think is going to happen in, like,
I was pretty
Star Wars
sure
Rebels?
that Rebels was going to be this 4th season would be the last, just because of the timeline and how close they are to the events of Rogue One. So they have to wrap it up. They can't just keep extending it out.
No, I did hear...
in the time frame that they have left.
Yeah. I did hear that there's going to be no mention of, like, the Battle of Scarif.
No, I don't think I think Battle of Scarif is going to take place after the conclusion of
Yeah, that's
the
what I
Clone
was
Wars.
thinking.
Or
Yeah.
not Clone Wars, sorry, Rebels.
Yeah, Rebels.
Even though their ship is in
Yes.
the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's,
You
But
see
I-
Chopper, too. In the
There's going to
movie,
be
yeah.
a finality to the show Rebels.
Mm.
And I think it's going to be where Hera and whoever survives, we know Hera and Chopper for sure,
Yeah.
are going to join
The Rebel.
Leia's part and General Dodonna's part and, and
The Rebel Alliance.
Mon
basically.
Mothma.
Yeah.
Rebel Alliance. That's, that's where it's going to kind of end. And who
Yeah.
knows? I don't think Kanan's going to make it out alive. I don't think Zeb makes it.
Ezra?
I don't think
Ezra makes it.
Ezra
Maybe.
might, if you think that
He's gonna...
Benicio del Toro's character could be Ezra in the episode 8.
True. That is true.
That's a stretch, I think. So I don't think Ezra makes it either. I just don't think there can be known Jedi or Force users out there
Yeah.
going into A New Hope.
Now, like, what do you think is gonna be next after Rebels? Like,
Oh, for the animated stuff?
yeah, like, what era? I'm thinking...
Or what would you... Or are you asking what do you think it's going to be, or what would we like to see?
Well, both. Like, first, like, what do you think logically it would be? But what do your feelings tell you that you want to see? So, like, for example, my feelings tell me that I want to see an Old Republic animated show. But I don't think that's ever going to happen. So, I'm thinking that it's probably going to be between Return of the Jedi, don't worry, that's fine. Return of the Jedi and, the screen went black. Return of the Jedi and, freaking Force Awakens.
I think it might be. What I would like to see is I would like to see the period between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, because there's a lot that goes on there. I mean, how do they get to Hoth? Where does that come from? I mean, I understand you can read some of the comic books and they kind of cover some of that
A little,
but I wouldn't mind seeing those comic books that kind of span that era.
Well, like,
made into a cartoon.
How long did Jabba the Hutt have Han? Do you think?
I don't think well, there is a time period, and I'm not, off the top of my head, I'm not exactly sure what that, I think it's 2 years, maybe.
2 years?
A year and a half, something like that. It's not a huge amount of time between those two.
Between Empire and Return?
Yeah, between 4 and 5.
Yeah.
I really think they're going to do something after 5. I'd like to see it closer, actually, to Return of the Jedi, and not so close to Force Awakens. More,
so
what does Luke do? And
so actually after 6, just for all you people that are going to like just totally jump on him and start...
comment below and just rip me a new one, okay? That's all right.
So after 6, Return of the Jedi.
Yes. 6. So I think that's when I'd like to see is after 6.
Yeah, because there's a big span there. There's a lot of time.
It's like 30 years almost.
Yeah, you can.
It is a very long time.
I mean, I'd like to see what took place on Jakku, like that Battle of Jakku that took place.
Yeah, why is that like
crashed
giant
all those ships?
AT-ATs or AT-ATs.
That would be yeah. I prefer the term AT-AT.
Me too. I like AT-STs. I like chicken walkers. That's
I'm
a good
old
name.
enough. I was born before the first movie, so I can say AT-AT. Because that's what we called them when we were kids and we got the toy.
AT-ATs. I don't even know where chicken walkers came from.
It's just the way they move.
The way they move, their legs.
I know that some rebels call them chicken walkers.
But anyway, back on subject.
Sorry.
I think after episode 6 was when I'd like to see. And closer to, like I said, the Battle of Endor.
Yeah.
What happened immediately after that. Maybe even a couple years after that.
Because obviously the Empire didn't just collapse.
Right, they're still around. And if you read the books, Aftermath, that trilogy, it goes into part of that, but not the characters we're used to. It takes, I'd like to see more Luke's perspective on that.
Yeah, like what happened with him.
Yeah.
At the Jedi Academy and stuff.
Yeah, like, what did he just like... I mean, obviously he started to train Jedi. Mm-hmm. Did he train Leia at all?
Yeah, no. Did she have any desire to learn?
Right.
Like spoilers for Force Awakens. Though, if you haven't seen Force Awakens, what rock are you living on?
And why are you listening to this podcast?
But when Han Solo dies, like Leia feels it in the Force that he died.
Yeah.
Right. So like maybe she doesn't know, like force push, force pull, all that fun stuff. Well, maybe she just knows, like, the senses. Like, maybe Luke taught her just basically how to feel it.
Well, even back in Empire Strikes Back, she has a connection with Luke when Luke is hanging from underneath Cloud City.
She knows where he is.
He calls out to her, and she's like, we have to turn around.
Yeah.
And Chewie forces old Lando to turn around.
That should have been our first clue that they were related. But,
yeah.
But of course, we didn't have any clue back then.
Yes, true. So.
Okay, should we get back to the convention part?
Well,
we kind of went off on a tangent here,
This
guys.
is part of the This is part of the convention. The trailer.
Okay.
So Last Jedi. Now everyone and their mother on YouTube has made a trailer reaction or a trailer breakdown. And it's our turn. So,
Unfortunately, we didn't get into that panel. The line was too long.
Too long.
It was ridiculous.
And you wouldn't believe it, how long it was.
And
unless you were there. Then you know exactly what we're talking about.
Though, I don't know which was worse, that line or the line to the exhibition hall
Well, immediately after that.
Yeah, yeah. After that line,
That's when all chaos broke out.
yep. That's when all chaos just went down. But
Thank goodness you had Star Wars fans and it wasn't like some rock concert.
That's right.
It would have been a riot.
oh yeah, yeah.
Star Wars fans are calm, cool, collected. They know the ways of the Force. They just,
They're nerds. They don't.
they didn't cause too
We're
much
nerds,
of a
what are you talking
ruckus.
Yeah, yeah. They're all nerds. So like, it's hard to get. them
Anyway, back
angry.
to that trailer for The Last Jedi.
Unless you say
panel.
Greedo's shot first.
Greedo didn't shoot.
Yeah, unless you.
Han always shoots first.
But yes, the trailer. So like, what did you guys see, and what did you guys like think of it? Because we watched it on my laptop when we got back to our townhome. We didn't watch it in the panel, but we did. We did get to see it on the big screen
And the closing ceremony.
and the closing ceremonies. So, yeah.
Well, and since I've been back from the convention, I've probably seen it about 30 times, maybe 40.
Maybe.
I sat down and I watched it because during parts of it, you can hear Leia's voice, you can hear
Obi-Wan's
voice, and Yoda's voice during
Yeah.
different segments. So I turned my TV way up and
Yeah.
just try to listen to what they sang to try to pick up any clues as to what was going on. I absolutely love the trailer. I think it.
But it's not really.
It's teaser.
It's a teaser.
It's a teaser.
But I can't
what,
wait for the movie to come out.
yeah, what I liked
Yeah.
about it is it didn't really give much away at all.
Yeah, that's the problem with a
mean-
lot of trailers nowadays. They give away like the whole movie.
Well, that final tease of Luke saying that
It's time for the Jedi to end.
time for the Jedi to end. That even didn't give anything away about what the movie's gonna what's gonna take place in the movie.
All you know is that it seems like maybe, sorta, kinda, Luke's stance on like the whole Jedi Order and everything like that has completely changed.
Well,
over
I think
time.
those books you see on that tree root.
Yes.
Like you see the little books, and then you see the person's hand, the gloved hand, touching the books.
Which might be
I think Luke
Del
has
Toro.
found those ancient texts, and by reading through those, he has realized that the Jedi have kind of drifted away from what the true nature of the Force is. There has to be balance, but it has to be a balance. But you have to understand the bad and the good,
Yeah.
and know how to balance that within yourself.
Not
like-
as the good guys are going to beat up on
It's
the
not
bad
so
guys.
black and white.
Yeah, like, that was, I mean, I've always said it, like, if I was a Jedi and I lived in Star Wars universe, I would not go with the Jedi Order, and I would not go with the Sith. I'd be completely gray. Because I don't like the whole idea of suppress your emotions. There is no feeling. There is no thought. There is nothing. You are just light. Like, I absolutely despise that, that order.
Right. Well, if you listen to what Luke says just within the trailer, he tells Rey to reach out. What do you see? She says light, dark, balance. And what does he say? It's so much more than that.
Yep.
I mean, that's just, to me, that tells me you have to have a sense of both of those things and be able to control both of those things.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. What do you think, Ryan? You've been silent.
I'm not. I haven't looked at it 30-some times yet. So, but from what I've seen, I think it's gonna be good.
Oh, yeah.
And I have no clue what's gonna happen in the movie. So.
Now, a lot of people are actually pretty scared that it's going to be kind of like Force Awakens, where you know how Force Awakens has a lot of parallels with New Hope.
Yeah, there's definitely some
A
parallels.
lot of parallels, and so some people they see the part with them driving on the sand, and there's driving towards the AT-ATs, and
Which is a cool shot.
Yeah, it is a very cool shot. But a lot of people see that and they're like, "Oh no, Hoth again."
But it's a desert planet instead of
True, yeah.
But yeah,
Look, it's a ground battle, and you have ships versus walk. What are you else you gonna do?
As long as they don't get a wire
People
and
keep
beat them
bringing
the
this
same
up
way.
now. They're setting a smoke screen. Those guys are
Yeah.
for something that's coming behind.
Also, where do you think, of course, you get a lot of focus on Rey in this teaser trailer. You get a lot of focus on her. But I want to know where Poe and Finn are going to end up at the end of this.
Like, I think it's Finn and he's unconscious or.
Well, yeah, Finn's still unconscious, and I'm under the impression that Finn may have to have some sort of mechanical suit because of that slash to his spine.
Yeah, or
so almost. I don't want to say Vader-like, but not because he still has his limbs, but I think he has to have some sort of assistance.
Because Kylo Ren got him good.
But, I think he becomes, super strong because of that.
Mm.
I also think that Phasma is just not, she's been sent out just to track down Poe and Finn. That is her, mission.
Well, in the teaser, you see Poe, and he's running down the hallway with BB-8, and apparently they're up in space. That's what it looks like.
They're on a hangar on some ship.
Yeah.
And
it also just explodes.
Boom! Freaking... The X-Wing just completely explodes. And so, of course, it's got to be an Empire attack. But...
the First Order attack.
Yeah, First Order attack. So, what caused them to attack them? And is that going to be a huge space battle that's going to happen, maybe?
Well, we see somewhat of a space.
Yeah.
Well, I think Poe makes it.
I think he'll make it, too.
Yeah.
But I think you see a space battle, just a pretty quick clip of it in that trailer. In the teaser, so
you do.
I think it's going to all be kind of together. Most of this trailer, in my mind, takes place probably within the first third of the movie.
Yeah.
I don't think we saw too much footage beyond that.
Yeah, we never saw anything with Snoke in that entire trailer.
Yeah, we only saw Kylo once.
Mm-hmm. And he has his lightsaber back, so... I mean, good thing he found another crystal that's unstable that made his lightsaber wavy again.
Maybe he's able to fix or just maintain that crystal and just built a new one.
Maybe he just grabbed it out of the snow and ran. That is a possibility.
There's also a lot of speculation on the poster that they released.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look, it's blue. The lightsaber's blue, and then it goes to red. Rey's going to turn to the dark side.
It's
that kind of talk. I've been reading that stuff.
That could just be, Grey. That could be showing her.
Yeah, she's balancing both,
right?
The light and the dark, and
it's more.
She's not going to be a Jedi. She's just going to be somebody who uses the Force.
It's going to be somebody like Ahsoka in Rebels.
Yeah,
she's
who has
turned
anger.
into pretty much a gray Jedi, right? She's decided, and Kanan's almost the same way. He started to drift back more to the Jedi ways, and we'll see what happens in season 4. Obviously, Ezra is conflicted.
Especially with Darth Maul,
right,
and his teachings.
So I think Luke has discovered that it was just too strict and just too black and white for the Jedi versus the Sith. It can't be that way. You have to be able to understand both sides.
Yeah, because I don't think you're not going to be able to defeat the dark side by being pure
and by the way,
there's no way.
The Sith they're no more.
Kylo Ren's not a
Kylo
Sith
Ren is not
Lord.
A Sith, and certainly Snoke is a Sith Lord. No, I think the Sith they died with Vader and Palpatine.
However, do you think that the Knights of Ren are going to come into play?
Oh yeah,
they better.
Yeah, we only got a little snippet of them in Force Awakens.
And like the opening of the trailer or the teaser trailer, you see Rey fall down to the ground and her hand smacks the rock. Obviously, she's still on Skellig Island, or I think it's Otto or Uto, the name of the planet, something like that. And you see
comment section.
Yeah, you can correct me.
Tell us.
Tell us what it is.
You see her. I think she's just gotten over another Force vision, another Force back, where she's seeing more of what she saw when she encountered the lightsaber the first time.
Yeah, there's so much weird. I recently watched Force Awakens again, and I looked at that vision scene, and there's a lot of weird stuff that happens in that. why is she out in the middle of the rain with a whole bunch of dead bodies? Is Rin trying to hurt her or help her? And
That's the future. She's seeing the future in that shot.
And like, yeah, she's like on like it looks like she's on like an Empire ship hallway. That's what it looks like, or like a new First Order ship hallway.
That's seeing from the lightsaber's perspective. That was from Cloud City when Luke and Vader had their battle.
Was it?
Yep.
Okay. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff in that vision sequence that's just
Trust me, I broke that vision sequence down tons of times.
Yeah, he's definitely the guy who dissects the video. That would be Jay.
Yes, I'm a movie dissection nerd, if you will.
Yes. Now, basically, how this, like, if you want to know the dynamic of us three, you have Ryan, he goes into a lot of the comics, he goes into a lot of the toys, and he reads a lot of stuff online, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And Jay, he goes a lot into the movies, the trailers, and the toys, and him and Ryan share a lot. I go into the games. Now, there was Battlefront 2 just got announced, and I don't know, I'm hoping that it's better than the first one, because the first one, it was okay for what it was, but the problem that I had with it was there was way too much limitation on, like, what you could do with like, the guns and everything, and, you know, there was no story mode, which was completely aggravating, and it looks like this one's going to be a story mode completely on its own. And it looks like it's going to take place between Return and Force Awakens. So, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm excited for it. I'm definitely not going to pre-order it. I'm going to wait till the reviews come. But yeah, that's just basically my little input.
I think the trouble with the games...
Yes.
...is it's going to take them a while to see how they fit into canon. Because everything that's being produced now... with Lucas Arts or, through Disney and all that, everything has to fit into canon in some sort of way. Now, I'm not opposed to them, like, making a Star Wars game and saying, look, this is Legends. This is in the universe, but it's not canon, so don't think it fits in with the story. If somebody would allow a game company like EA or Blizzard, I don't know who makes
BioWare.
games.
BioWare
It's been a while since I've done some gaming. If they made a game that was still sanctioned by Lucasfilms or LucasArts and Disney, but I don't think Disney and LucasArts will ever allow that. Unfortunately, I just don't think we'll ever see the likes of a great story like Knights of the Republic.
Knights of the Republic is one of my favorite games of all time, and I was very sad when they announced that it wasn't canon, because it is probably one of my favorite Star Wars stories, with, Revan, and he was basically one of the first people to balance light and dark, and he was able to do it so well, and that was, like, one of my favorite things about that game, was it was all about your choices. And I really, really, really wish that they would make it like a third one and just say, oh yeah, it is Legends. I'll be fine with that. I'm okay if it's not canon, but it would be amazing to see more stories like that. Yeah, I mean, I would love more stories like that.
All right, so as you can see, we just talked about a ton of stuff we enjoyed about Star Wars. Despite the lines,
yes,
we just talked about for over half hour now. A ton of stuff we loved about Star Wars.
Yeah, we went off on some tangents here and there.
Which keeps us wanting to go back,
yes,
obviously. Which also made us want to do this podcast, this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So the positives obviously outweigh the negatives, but let's touch on some of the negatives briefly.
Dip our toe in some negatives.
Before we sign off.
Before we sign off.
A little bit. Okay, so...
Go ahead, down.
First... let me just explain to you the chaos. Now, we foreshadowed this earlier. The lines... okay. So, on the day that we had... that the teaser trailer for Last Jedi came out, Everyone was in line for that. Like, everyone. We couldn't get a seat. We couldn't get in. Okay, whatever. We were just going to be like, okay, let's just go into the exhibition hall. Here's the problem with that. The exhibition hall didn't open until 11 a.m. We were there at like 8.
No, we got there at 6 in the morning.
6 in the morning. 6 in the morning to try and get into The Last Jedi.
Right.
Didn't happen.
Right. We were in that line from 6 to about 8:30 or 9 before they told us we weren't going to get tickets.
Now,
which was fine.
Wristbands.
Yeah.
No problem.
No problem.
Yeah, exactly.
We knew we were early enough.
We knew we were risking it anyway. We had made some jokes earlier in line. What was the over-under of possibility of us getting it? I took the under of 5%.
And you were right.
That we were going to get wristbands.
yes.
I was correct.
Yes.
We didn't get wristbands.
Now, to preface this, let's just say that this convention hall was huge. Absolutely massive. This is like there was tons of space for everything. But they like pushed the exhibition hall. The exhibition hall was still big, but I think they could have pushed it a little bit like more to make it a little bit bigger so it's not so crowded. But they had this line. That wasn't even a line, to be honest. It was more of a blob.
Well, you had all those people that were in those the zigzag lines,
yes.
that you have at like amusement parks. So we were stuck in those.
Actually,
well,
we decided not to get them.
We decided not to get those. But then they had other people lining up on the outside of those.
Yeah.
And it was just chaos.
Yes. And people, like, I mean, I know some people were getting mad, like, at what was going on. Like, some people were just like, oh my god. And so, us 5, we were like, no. We'll just sit on these, like, little lawn chairs outside of the lines and just watch. So that's what we did. We sat down and we watched just
this mass of people.
This conundrum just go down.
Well, the bad thing was they started letting the people that hadn't been sitting there for hours and hours to get into the exhibition hall. They started letting those people in first, and the people that were stuck inside those zigzag cattle car, trains were like stuck in there and they couldn't get out. So they were getting like extremely ticked off that these other people were starting to get to go in before them because they hadn't been there that long.
Because I went up to some people on the edge of one of, the little zigzag lines, and I'm like, you guys in line for the exhibition hall? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, where's the end of the line? They're like, on the other side of this one. To give you a picture, there's like 2 main halls, and it's divided by like a brick wall with some offices, and I think there might be some drinking fountains in there or something, maybe a restroom even. And then on the other side was the other end of the line. So it was well behind us, but I was like, we're not getting in this line. We're just going to sit here and watch. And I'm like, what's this line for? And I'm pointing at this line that's lining up outside of these zigzag lines. And they're like, that line just formed. I don't know what that line's for. Well, it turns out those people who hadn't been standing there for hours, when the exhibition hall opened, were getting in first. Oh, boy.
Also, the exhibition hall had multiple doors that they could have opened. There was like, the whole wall was like basically a whole wall of like garage-like doors, okay? There was like, 7 doors, and they only opened up the one on the far corner?
Yeah, they could have easily folded that whole wall back if they wanted to, but they didn't.
They didn't, and it was like, why? And let's not even mention the confusion at the beginning. Right when we got at the first convention, when we
first day?
Yes, first day. Day 1, hour 1.
Actually, not hour 1, because we probably didn't get into the convention hall until 2 hours after we stood in line outside, and then got into the line inside for security, and then the confusion started.
Okay. Like hour 5. we went in, we walked around, we couldn't figure out how to get into the panels. We kept on seeing people with these little wristbands, and we're like, okay,
what are those?
What are those? How do we get them? That's apparently your ticket in. Okay?
We asked people that were working there, they had no clue. So we finally stopped somebody that had the wristband. What's the wristband for, and why do you have one? So they explained it to us, and we had to figure out where those lines were just to get in line to get a wristband so you could go stand in another line.
That's Ryan's side of the story. Jay and I had a little bit of a problem. We walked around, we asked this lady, and I'm sure she was trying her best, but we asked her, and we were like, okay, how do we get into the lines? How do we get the wristbands? And she says, in the line. And we're like, what do you mean? And she says...
I'm like, okay, I need to find the line to get a wristband. It's that line. No, that's the line to get into the panel. Yes. But I need a wristband to get in the panel. Yes. Okay, where's the line for the wristbands to get in the panel? That's the line. No, mind blown. She had no clue. Probably wasn't her fault. She probably didn't receive any proper training.
Yeah,
she's probably just there trying to control crowds and just trying to help people. But it was so just mind blowing how horrible that part was.
And eventually we caught a dude that had a wristband, and he's like, "Oh yeah, just look for the black tables and go up to them."
Right, if you want something, ask somebody who has that thing you want.
Yes,
Yeah, that's a good tip.
That is how you do it. And like, let's see here, the freaking show store. So the show store was this like exclusive thing that you got to go into. It was like this. It's like this kind of sectioned off area that you need to get into. Huge line to get into. My mom and my sister had to sit in the line for
3-4 hours.
3-4 hours.
After you and I had sat in it for an hour.
Yeah,
they
Jay and I sat
swapped
an hour.
out spots so we could go to a panel.
Yeah, and so they went in, and like right afterwards, we went to like the back of this place where the people exit out of the store, out of the show store, and we see these pins on the wall. That's like, trading pins, trade blah 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 area, and we're like, we never heard of these pins. Like
if you didn't go into this little cubbyhole, I don't know how people found out about the pins unless you got into the show store.
Yeah,
like you noticed it when you came out,
right? So I'm like calling frantically on my phone, like, Jordan, you have to pick up these pins.
Please.
They're at the checkout counter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you spend over $250, I need the Ahsoka pin.
Yes.
They spend over $250. Ahsoka pins are sold out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
no
asked
problem.
for this one pin set that was the Women of Star Wars, and apparently they understocked the Women of Star Wars because they sold those things sold like no tomorrow, and they were out of stock out of them. And some people stood in line for 4 hours just to get those pins,
right? And they were gone. So they just walked out of the store.
And what's funny is, like, they had, like, a list that I took a picture of when we first got in line.
Yeah.
Of things they were out of stock of, and nowhere was it mentioned that those pins were out of stock. And even when we found where the little pins were displayed...
There was a couple of them
a couple of them that said sold out, but they weren't keeping up on any of that kind of stuff at all.
No. It was also just a huge oversight, because it's like, you have the Women of Star Wars. You have Rey, Sabine, and Leia. You know, Carrie Fisher, who there was a whole tribute to. You don't think that, like, maybe those would sell like crazy, you know?
Right. Everybody was loving all the the Leia stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They might have made them, though, a limited edition for a reason, though, so they're more
That's
of a
right.
collector's
That's
item.
true. Because...
Yeah.
That's what collectors want.
They want
you
that.
want that limited edition.
Yeah, you want that low numbers.
Right. Hell, I just got the limited edition Ray pop vinyl. It's already going for $150 on eBay.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was $40 at the show.
Yep.
Yeah, Jay and Ryan got exclusive.
Yeah. We got lucky on the pop vinyls. Our mom actually
won the lottery.
Won the lottery ticket that you had to win to get in to buy these. So she had to go stand in line for us and buy our stuff.
Yeah, thankfully she's a cool mom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, really cool mom.
Yes.
Love her to death.
Yeah. She got those two something, but I didn't get anything, man.
You didn't say you wanted anything.
You didn't ask for anything.
I thought it was kind of implied.
You didn't point to the list of things they wanted.
Yeah, I guess. But
I mean,
I got some T-shirts out of the deal, so whatever.
All right, so one of my tips for if you do go to one of these conventions, if you're wanting into the panels, be committed and sleep overnight. because you'll get in. But if you didn't, if you were like us, we didn't get into the Last Jedi panel because we weren't that committed to going sleeping out there on the hard concrete floor overnight.
Right. I mean, there's dedication and some cool stuff happened by doing that. I mean, director Ryan Johnson came down, spent like 3 or 4 hours, I guess, signed everybody's
40th anniversary.
No, they're the badge to get in.
Their little badge to get in. Signed every single one of those that was in there. So cool.
Yeah, so I kind of missed. Too bad we missed out on that, but
yep.
Can't see everything.
Nope, you can't, and don't go expecting to see everything.
It's like
just go and have fun.
That's what we did. We just went.
Don't get frustrated when stuff doesn't go your way. Find something else fun to do. It's Star Wars. There is something fun to do.
Oh, there is like the exhibition hall was always fun.
Oh yeah, always.
Because they had multiple stuff. They had this huge like Jabba the Hutt that you could go and like sit next to and take a picture with.
Yeah.
And like there was like a stage show that you could go watch.
Yeah.
That was going on all the time. I forget what their names are.
It's from the Star Wars live show.
Yeah. It was There's some kind of official Star Wars show.
Yeah, and we didn't even go do any autograph hunting for autographs.
I just got the one
Jay.
autograph from
that's
Ashley.
right.
That was
Except
the
for
one.
Jay.
But we didn't go stand in any of the big lines for the people
you
that
could
were
have
there.
got Hayden Christensen. You could have got
Mark Hamill.
Lando Calrissian himself.
Billy D. Williams,
You could have got Jen Erso herself.
Was Peter Mayhew doing autographs?
I don't know if he was doing autographs
or not.
I know
he's in poor health though. So
yeah, I know Wedge was doing autographs. The guy who played Wedge.
I think Warwick
Lawson.
Davis was doing some autographing.
Yeah,
so, he was doing most of the hosting though, so he was really
super busy. That guy and such
and
a great
props
moderator.
to him, dude.
Oh, he did a great job.
Oh, he was great.
He was so funny. That guy is hilarious.
Warwick Davis is amazing. But yeah, it was really good, and yeah, he did a great job. And
he has his own little Segway that somebody built in that's for his size. Man, he was just whipping around on that thing.
I can't believe how fast he was going.
He was going down the crowds, high-fiving people. He was amazing. He was going crazy on it. It was
so funny to watch him in that 40th anniversary panel. Just take shots at Han. He'd take shots at Harrison Ford. He took shots at
George Lucas.
Lucas is so funny.
Oh, we didn't even mention one of the greatest things about that 40th anniversary panel. Right at the end, John Williams, the curtains pulled back. John Williams is there, and here comes Princess Leia's theme.
Oh, so
I started crying.
Waterworks again.
Waterworks again, and then it went into the original opening theme. And then it went into Imperial March, of course.
Yep, at the very end.
You
did 3 whole songs.
You have to add Imperial March. Now, I was a bit sad that we didn't get into the live show. We only got to see the live feed.
Yeah, because that would have been awesome just to see that.
Just to hear it in that room.
Yeah, hear it in your own ears.
Right, instead of through a speaker.
Yeah, and
I don't know how
maybe
they kept
someday.
I don't know how they kept it quiet. I mean, how do you keep a whole orchestra quiet so nobody even knew they were back there? Because there's just a curtain in between.
And
I guess that orchestra was
it's all over.
There's a local orchestra from Orlando, so they did a great job, man. It was fantastic.
Yeah. It was really good. But all in all, the celebration was good.
Oh yeah, it was a great time. I had
fun.
tons of fun.
And not only that, we got to do multiple things. We were down in Orlando. We got to go and see the local restaurants. We got to eat the local restaurants down there.
Yeah, we got
which was really good.
Got to drive around in between Orlando and Tampa on 0 hours of sleep and being awake for 36 hours.
36 hours.
Awesome.
Hey, that's what happens. You take
different
the red
story
eye.
for a different time.
We took the red eye. It was a bad idea. But we went down to the beach. What is that one called?
Daytona Beach.
Daytona Beach, and we went to Universal Parks on our last day.
Yeah.
So we had a very enjoyable trip. It wasn't just Star Wars, but it was mostly Star Wars.
Yeah.
Now, where do you guys predict 2019? They haven't announced it yet, but where do you predict it'll be?
Anaheim.
I'm guessing
Anaheim, because they're going to be opening up the
Disneyland
resort.
Yep, the Star Wars
experience.
Now, for the 50th anniversary,
I want to see it here in Colorado again.
Yeah,
I went to the first one.
Ryan and I went to the first one.
Yeah,
in 1999.
He
was an infant.
No, I was.
99?
1999. I was 1 year old.
Yeah, he had been 1 year old. That's
1 year old.
We definitely got an age gap here. So Jay and I are
in our 40s.
They
well,
got to
and
see.
we're more of the older, original three. Where Dallin came in.
I came in during the prequels. I'm sad to
prequels.
say, but
No,
They have their qualities.
They have their thing.
they have their good
moments.
Their moments.
I like all of them.
The prequels, for their misgivings, and they do have them,
Yes.
they still brought in a ton more
Fans.
Star Wars fans from your generation.
Yes,
and
That's great
for
because
Star Wars.
It's great for me because that means
It
you
continues.
guys are going to continue it for me, and I get to keep watching until I die.
Right?
Yeah.
That means it continues.
Yeah.
That's the best thing.
And now, with this third generation,
Oh yeah,
more people. Like, your little kids are loving him now. You see, you saw, the little tiny kids dressed up as Rey and Finn. Like, they were just running around having fun. This is good.
Well, and another takeaway from, just to wrap things up, when you hear George Lucas speak about why he made these films, it's the most touching story. And, he made it for
children.
Those kids' faces that you see when just the joy on young kids' faces. And it's just so awesome to hear that story come from George Lucas. And it makes me understand the prequels even more.
Yeah, he was trying to grab that next generation.
And Jar Jar Binks even more. It makes me understand all of that and appreciate it more. So,
Yeah.
I mean...
Okay, so if you guys are super Star Wars fans, make it to a convention. Make it to a celebration.
Heck, maybe you'll see us there.
Make it to one. Just go to one. At least one in your lifetime. Go to one.
Yes.
It's totally worth it.
Totally worth it.
It is really worth it. Like this... I mean, I've been to many Comic-Cons, but this is unlike any Comic-Con.
Oh yeah, it's different.
It's completely different. Like, you think, oh, I've been to one convention. I've been to them all. No, you haven't.
Oh, even our sister's I'm not a huge, she's a Star Wars fan, but she's not crazy like us. She's I didn't even get bored after 4 days of Star Wars. I was still excited to go see things and do things and
see what people came up with and
yeah, costumes, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for listening. Comment below on any of the mistakes we made, because I'm sure we made some.
I'm sure we made a lot.
Some. And probably, we'll probably be planning out our next episode. Probably be recording it next week.
We're going to try to do these weekly. Get them up on Tuesdays or Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm. The others may not be quite this long. We don't know. They might be short ones. There might be even longer ones. We'll figure that as we go.
We'll figure that as we go.
The fun thing
it's a work in progress.
The fun thing is, since most of this is just going to be stills, for me, it's nice editing because that means I just have to place in pictures at certain times, and it uploads fast to YouTube. So I'm happy about that.
Hopefully, eventually, we'll get a little studio built and we can do it live on camera. But
yeah, sorry for the echo. You can probably hear it because
we're just in our basement.
We are in our basement.
So we're just doing this because we're huge Star Wars fans. Make sure you check out our Facebook page, Red2 Chatter.
Yes, please.
And
I don't know if we'll have a Twitter or not.
Any final thoughts?
I love Star Wars.
Yeah, me too.
May the Force be with you.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.